Hi everyone! I have a journal to share with you. This is an old book cover that has a gorgeous purplish gray kind of aubergine mauve color. It measures 5.5 inches wide by 8 3/8 of an inch tall. The spine is just over an inch. Yeah, I guess just over an inch. I put an eyelet through the center of the spine so I could attach an elastic loop that holds the whole thing closed. This one is very interesting to me because it turned out completely different than I had thought it would when I started working on it. I don't really know why that is exactly, and now I don't even really remember very well what I had pictured at first when I started. But still, I very much like how it turned out. And yeah, let's flip through. This is mostly natural colors with writing paper in between. The only really bold color that I used is red. And it has a kind of cities theme. I have a picture of a town view in here. This is a plan from a house and just a piece of leftover paper. I used a brick stencil and some die-cut houses. These are from one of the Tim Holtz Cityscapes dies, from the Thinlits dies. I cut them from encyclopedia paper, and I did some hand stitching along a lot of the edges of the paper. I don't really know how I thought of hand stitching it. This is a blanket stitch, and I kept the stitches like uneven. I made them different lengths and at different intervals, like they're not all very even. There is a map, there is some grid paper, there are some foldouts in this because a lot of this just colored paper for crafting. I have a big folder of old paper that I remember even when I was little we had that folder. It was in one of the drawers that held all the paper and craft supplies. There were like spare colored pencils and pens and glue and sticky tape and papers and school homework exercise books, like these, just blank ones, so we could have some, like we had some spare ones, and there was this folder of just colored paper. And I still have some of that, and I just pulled out all of the gray tones. There's some calendar paper. And there's a brown one. I left it like that. There's another fold out. And I usually, when I have short pages like that, I center them. Like I put them in the middle, and that short piece I would have put in the middle as well. But with this, I thought I put most of them at the very bottom. So when you leaf through the book, it actually gives you a sort of skyline feel because of different heights and different widths of the paper. There's another pocket. That's just a paper strip. There's a photo of room interior. Actually, it goes that way. That's an interesting room. and also just a piece of leftover from the paper. And also the way they sit in the pockets like that kind of makes me think of buildings. And I very much like this. This is not a look or a theme that I would naturally go for. This is fun because I have to jump some pages here and find the other side of that red paper. Exactly. This is a short page that has that fold out. I found this red piece just the way it was in that folder of the old colored paper. So someone must have folded a bigger sheet of paper and then just cut one piece out, and that was left, and I thought that was kind of fun, so I just left it that way. This is a piece of pattern, like a sewing pattern for, I think it was some plush, like stuffed animal that you could make with this. There's another map from part of a town. There are lots of fold outs in this book. And more of those houses. And brick stencil all over the place. There's some pretty carved columns. I made a little flip book with some of the leftover paper, and there's just a piece of the black paper that was left. There was a tear in this, so I just laced it so that it wouldn't tear any further. There's a hidden pocket in there. This is a panorama of hills and their names and what the little villages are called. And there's a piece of, 2 pieces of gray paper that were left. I tried to use as much as I could of all of the papers that I cut and that I used. There you can see the inside of where that elastic fits in. This is a metal, I don't know what that is called actually, but you can squash these 2 metal pieces together to hold the elastic, and it will just stay in like this. You could remove this if you wanted. There's a picture of a big grand house from the front. More paper from an outdated planner. There's a flip up. There's another piece of a map. Some more grid paper. I have different kinds of grid and lined paper with different designs. There's another little flip booklet. This is a picture of a courtyard. Kind of looks like an Escher illustration. And just another scrap. Some more scraps. This is a picture of a radar. I just put it in there because it was black and white, and I kind of like the circles on it. There's a nice bay on like a bay balcony kind of thing. There is a beautiful staircase and some more scraps of the colored paper. There's another one of those funny cut. I don't know who would think of this. Just fold a piece of paper to put it in a folder and then just cut one quarter out of it. I don't know how you would think of this, but it kind of made a funny addition to the book. I like this house with this little kind of mushroom tower. Very muted, this book, sort of. Really, the red is the only excuse me. The red is the only really striking color, but I think it goes really well with the naturals, the grays and the shades of brown, and even the cover, even this kind of I don't know what this color is. It looks kind of different. However the light hits it, really kind of purplish gray. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that strange little book. I am actually really fond of it. Well, thank you for watching and have a very nice day. Bye!